Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live stream concert here in Brooklyn, New York. My name is Victor. We're Sandbox Percussion. We're streaming live here from our studio, and we're so thrilled to have all of you joining us. This is actually our last live stream concert of the year, last concert of 2020. So we're so happy to have all of you joining us. This concert is being presented by Concerts on the Slope, which is a fantastic chamber music series based out of Brooklyn, specifically in Park Slope. We've actually had a really long relationship with them. Concerts on the Slope was one of the first concerts that we ever played in. Actually, it was the first concert that we ever played in New York. It was one of the first concerts that we ever played as a group, period, back in 2012. So we're super excited to be still in partnership with them for this concert. So thank you so much for joining us. Really quick, just a few quick things. At the end of our show, we're actually super excited to invite all of our Patreon supporters for a Zoom virtual after party, a Zoom hangout after the concert. The link is below on YouTube, and I believe in the chat and Facebook. If you'd like to see what Patreon is, you can go and support us there, and you can be a part of that virtual hang afterwards as well. The piece we just played was Extremes by Jason Treuting, and the next one we're going to do is called May the Devil Take Me by Beth Kirsten. This piece is a triangle quartet, and Amy does a really interesting thing where she has us all use a different implement on the triangle. So we have a river rock, we have a glass plectrum, a silver spoon, and a ceramic spoon as well. So Amy's an incredibly creative composer, and she's able to get some really interesting sounds out of the triangles. Actually, the last one is the rubber end of some needle nose pliers. I don't want to forget that one because that's a really fun one. So she gets a lot of really interesting sounds out of the triangles, and we're super excited to present it here for you. So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. This next piece is May the Devil Take Me by Beth Kirsten.
Hello, everyone. This is Johnny Allen here to introduce the next piece for you all, which is a piece called Shell by Emma O'Halloran. This is an especially exciting one for us because today's performance is actually the first performance we have ever given of the piece, something of kind of a premiere for us as an ensemble. And we're not too far off with this piece anyway, because it was actually written pretty recently in 2019. And we've really enjoyed working on it. We got to actually have a Zoom call with Emma yesterday, or maybe a couple days ago. Time is weird right now, but it was wonderful getting to kind of get her input on the piece. That's one of our favorite things to do. One thing that is really striking about this piece, Shell, is that the inspiration for it came from a photojournalist named Seth Lawless, and they traveled around the U.S. taking photographs of abandoned shopping centers and different spaces where typically there are huge congregations of people, but instead it's abandoned and kind of desolate. And with this as the inspiration of the piece, it brings about this kind of remote and wide open feeling of almost solace, and it's certainly kind of poignant. And the way that she achieves this is by drenching the marimba in reverb, is I think how it's written in the score. And this resonance added to the already resonant marimba really creates certainly a beautiful reverberant sound, but also there's something kind of, I don't know, almost whimsical about it with the way that resonance kind of implies a vast empty space that you're surrounded by. And I think that's a really interesting way to create that and to think about that. And it certainly seems appropriate to play this piece in 2020, where rather than having kind of abandoned social structures, kind of because they are just meant to be that way, we actually have to stay apart from each other, just kind of out of the moral imperative of it. So I think we feel a special connection to this piece as a result of that. But without further ado, here is Shell by Emma O'Halloran. Hi, it's me again, actually. And I really wanted to introduce both of these pieces, the last one and this next one, because they are, in fact, for the same instrumentation, more or less. We'll still have marimbas underneath our mallets, and yet the character of these two pieces almost couldn't be more different. You know, what you just heard with Shell was certainly a more kind of introverted sound world and a certain solemnness to it. This next piece is Point Reyes by David Crowell, which also has a kind of programmatic element. Point Reyes is actually a national seashore on the coast of northern California, and it's kind of known for its striking beauty. And to kind of pay an homage to that, this piece, Point Reyes, named after that location, has a much brighter and kind of exuberant sound world to it, still on the same instrument, but obviously using different compositional techniques to achieve that. The original Point Reyes was actually written for 6 saxophones, and this is a piece we would listen to all the time in the car, and we would kind of think to ourselves, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could play this? So we talked to David, and sure enough, he gave us his blessing to go ahead and arrange it. So we've had a blast ever since then. I think that was probably almost 5 years ago now that we first arranged it, and we've been loving it ever since. So without further ado, here is Point Reyes by David Crowell.
Hello again, everybody. Thank you again so much for joining us this afternoon. My name is Victor. Really quick, just before we move on into the rest of our program, we actually wanted to take a moment and share a little video that we made recently, kind of recapping 2020, reflecting back on 2020, and also looking forward to 2021 and some things that we have to look forward to. One thing in particular that we're really excited about that I mentioned a little bit at the beginning of the program is the launch of our Patreon page. Patreon is an online platform that allows us to gather an audience around the music that we create. So for the past year or so, the four of us in Sandbox have kind of taken a little bit more of the kind of tech and music production side of what we do on our own backs. It's something that we've really enjoyed, and creating audio and video recordings, and Patreon is a way that makes it really easy for us to share that content with all of our supporters. So a monthly gift on our Patreon gets you access to all of this virtual content, some behind-the-scenes footage, some rehearsal footage, also some virtual after parties for our live stream concert, which the first one of which is today, after our live stream concert today. So the link to support us on Patreon is below on YouTube and in the chat on Facebook. If you support us during this concert, you'll get access to that link as well, and we're going to have some fun things planned for that Zoom meeting, for that Zoom hangout. So thank you so much. All of the activities that we had in 2020 and all the ones that we have looking forward to in 2021 are made possible by your support and your generosity. So we thank you so much for anything that you're able to offer at the end of this year and during this holiday season. So we thank you so much. Without further ado, we'll get into this short 3-minute or so video, just kind of recapping 2020 and looking forward to 2021. Thank you so much.
We're Sandbox Percussion, and we would like to welcome you to our studio here in Brooklyn, New York. As we get ready for the end of this calendar year, we've been reflecting a lot on the changes that our organization has made over the past 9 months, where our world's health crisis has in many ways brought the four of us in Sandbox closer together than ever. We're also taking a moment to think about the new and exciting things we have to look forward to.
We've completely remodeled our studio to double as a recording studio, live streaming studio, and a rehearsal space.
Many of the concerts and events we had scheduled for this concert season have transitioned to a virtual platform. Back in August, we started a monthly virtual concert series live streamed from our studio. These ongoing concerts will allow us to continue to share music with people all over the world throughout 2021.
This past summer, we revamped our annual week-long NYU seminar so that it could take place virtually. We invited 28 participants, and we gave the world video premiere of a new work for open instrumentation by Molly Joyce. With all the students spread out across the country, a big part of the process for them was learning how to record themselves at home. After the students recorded, we took all of their videos and pieced them together to make one giant world premiere.
Creating these video and audio recordings has been something we've done a lot more of over the past year. Those could be anything from rehearsal and performance videos, self-made audio recordings. We just launched a Patreon page as well where all this stuff can live. It's an online community that allows you to easily support Sandbox Percussion and the work we do. A monthly gift there will unlock special rewards and perks like exclusive or pre-released content and virtual after parties for our live stream concerts.
This past spring, we were gearing up for the premiere of Andy Akiho's 7 Pillars, which is a brand new evening-length percussion quartet. With that concert and so many others being canceled, we have shifted our focus towards creating a studio recording of 7 Pillars, which is set to be released in the spring of 2021.
We're collaborating with audio engineer Sean Dixon, and we've had 2 separate recording residencies spanning 5 weeks at Avalock Farm and PS21 to bring this album to life.
We're incredibly proud of the organization we've built since we started in 2011. It's obviously gone through lots of changes, especially this year, But one thing that will always remain consistent is our love for playing music together and sharing it with audiences.
There's never been a time when we rely more on gifts from generous people like yourselves to continue to function as an organization and realize our mission. We're a nonprofit, so 100% of your gift is tax deductible.
This year has been challenging for all of us, but if there's one thing it's taught us, it's that we're stronger when we stick together. Sandbox is a quartet, of course, but we've realized it's really a lot more than that. It's a community, it's a family, and it's a way for us to all come together and celebrate the beauty of music. Thank you so much, and stay safe this holiday season.
Hello, everyone. So the next piece we have for you today is the third movement from not only that one, but that one and that too. This is by the composer Thomas Kotcheff. Thomas is a really, really close friend of ours. Three of us actually did our undergrad with him. Back then, I actually knew him only as a pianist, to later find out that Thomas was also a composer. We know him very well as a composer, but he's also a very accomplished pianist. He just released his solo album titled Songs of Insurrection. It's a beautiful record and is getting some amazing press from places like the New York Times. So everyone should totally go check that record out. So Thomas wrote this piece for us, not only that one, but that one and that too, back in 2016. It's a 3-movement work. We're only playing the third movement, which is written for all these metal instruments. And so Thomas, one of the things he told us was that he really wanted to write a piece that was going to be specifically written for Sandbox. And so he came to our studio and he saw all of our metal instruments and he sort of handpicked every single tempo bowl, every single pipe and desk bell and glock bar and crotale, and kind of sculpted this metallic sound world that sort of was, like part of his composerly touch was really sort of like almost like a sculptor really picking these, particular specific instruments for us. Without further ado, this is not only that one, but that one and that too, part 3 by Thomas Kotcheff. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ian. I'm the last member of Sandbox that you haven't heard from yet. Just catching my breath there. That one takes a lot out of you. I think Terry mentioned it, but that's just the third movement of that piece. We're really hoping to actually perform the entire piece next year on one of these concerts. So if you're into that one, stay tuned for that. Before I talk about this next piece that we're going to play, I just wanted to thank a few people that have made all of these live stream concerts that we've been doing over the last several months happen. So first of all, we've got Jen over there in the control room who's making us all look good. She's switching all the cameras, turning on the mics, turning off the mics. She's doing a million things a second back there, and literally none of the stream would happen without her. Then also we have Catherine and Maddie, who you guys have been talking to on the chat while you're watching. They've been learning so much about our pieces, and we really appreciate all of your efforts. And lastly, we just want to thank you all for turning out for these concerts. I think I can speak on behalf of all four of us that these concerts and the work that we've been able to do with Sandbox has really kept us going over the last few months. It's been a bright spot in a really challenging year to be able to get together safely and still play concerts like this. And that's only possible with an audience that enjoys them. So thank you thank you so much for tuning in for this concert, and please stay tuned for many more concerts next year. Okay, so next piece that we're going to play is Dark Full Ride by Julia Wolfe. Julia has been an inspiration to us for many, many years. She's an artistic director and one of the co-founders of Bang on a Can, which is an organization that kind of paved the way for groups like ours. So we owe so much to her and her co-founders there. And this piece of hers is actually a bit of an old piece. It was written back in 2002, which for us is kind of an ancient thing. The entire first movement of this piece, which is the only movement that we're going to play on this concert, is scored just for hi-hats and cymbals. And so it's just these high metal sounds, but it is amazing the wide variety of color that she's able to get just out of these few instruments. So without further ado, here is Dark Full Ride by Julia Wolfe.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this concert. We have one more piece for you. This piece is Karakurenai. It's by Andy Akiho. It's originally actually a steel pan solo. Oh, thank you.
Just in case you can't hear yourself.
Can't hear myself. It's a steel pan solo, and we kind of reimagined it for these kind of found instruments that you haven't seen yet on the program. You're about to see them, though. So thank you so much for joining us for this concert. Thank you so much to Concerts on the Slope for presenting this concert as well. We've had a long time friendship with them, and it's so great to still get to put on these concerts. I think right about now we'd be packing up like 4 marimbas and loading out of a church, but you know, we're still happy to play these concerts for you. So thank you so much. Again, to our Patreon supporters, we will see you in just a little bit. We're going to play this piece, and then we're going to hang out with you in our virtual after party here in our studio. To be on Zoom. So thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much to Concerts on the Slope. Thanks for joining in for this concert. Have a safe and happy holiday, and thanks again for tuning in. This next one is Karakurenai by Andy Akiho.